After the call on Yahoo Finance starts right now. Brad Smith here with my initials twin, the one and only, the man with the plan, Brian Sazi. And Brian, my goodness, you know what we are here for. We just got off the Airbnb earnings call, and your name twin, Brian Chesky, has been on a tear. He's been on one this entire call. The stock's been on a tear. I'll put up the after hours chart for our viewers in a hot second, but first, I got to know your takeaway.
My take was this. I'm here, Brad, for the chocolate candy. It's Valentine's Day. I don't know why. I'm sitting right across from you in the office, man. You didn't get me any candy. I'm very upset.
I got you something.
All right.
I got you something. I got you some sweets.
Oh, well, now you're just showing off. Well, now you're just showing off. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to show up here on my takeaways from this Chesky Airbnb earnings call. It is really this. Here's a company that I like. Chesky hopped on this call and said, you know what? We didn't hire at the same pace as every other bloated, fat tech company out there in Silicon Valley. We have managed to grow our revenues 75% since 2019, and our headcount is down 5%. Chesky really playing up, I think, on this earnings call, how his tech company is different than a lot of his competitors. So I really like that. Liked also, Brad, this company generated $450 million in free cash flow. Very exciting. Ended the quarter $10 billion in total cash on this balance sheet. And a lot of those analysts on that conference call put this question to Chesky, like, Brian, bro, my man, how are you going to spend this money? Are you buying back stock? Are you buying other companies? To me, Chesky suggested all those things could be on the table. I liked an environment where tech spending is slowing down. We might be heading into recession. Here's Airbnb, not a lot of debt, $10 billion of cash on its balance sheet.
We're going to talk more about that cash. And I didn't get my graphic in time, but I do have this handy-dandy whiteboard here, and that's going to give us a little bit of insight into exactly where I'm going with my key takeaways here. You talked about that cash. That free cash flow is absolutely an opportunity. That free cash flow is an improvement, and it means that there's an opportunity for more buybacks in the future. So buybacks, point number one. Point number two, Asia Pacific is not fully priced in to what this story could be for Airbnb. They're counting on more international travel. They're counting on a recovery coming out of the Chinese consumer, and one that's looking, especially within the Gen Z cohort, to move around the country and internationally as well. And so that potentially is going to be another big boon for the business. We'll see how that continues to ramp up. However, here's one more thing that you got to focus in on, and it's that ADR, that average daily rate that Airbnb is going to continue to keep.
Love me some corporate speak, Brad. Love it.
Hey,
on Valentine's Day, I love ADR. We want some more corporate speak. The hotels like to say RevPAR for revenue per available for room. And no shocker, Airbnb is doing something different with a little ADR. I like it.
There you go. ADR. We're going to track that, and we'll see what happens to that as they continue to bring more urban listings online as well. That might compress that ADR just a little bit, Brian.
Yeah, I really want to show off here, Brad, how closely we follow all of these companies here at Yahoo Finance. In the promo we teased or taped for this Airbnb earnings release, we said that we were curious on what Brian Chesky is doing with his own home. He's been renting it out. He started this conference call addressing just that. Take a listen.
During the height of the pandemic, we made some very difficult choices to reduce our spending, making us a leaner and more focused company. And we've kept this discipline ever since. And over each of the past 2 years, we've only modestly increased our headcount. In fact, compared to 2019, our headcount is actually down 5%, while our revenue is up 75%.
And there you have it, Brian Chesky, guys, really touting those lean operating expenses. And he really started off this call talking about how he's been renting out his San Francisco home on Airbnb. He's been doing this for more than a year. Seemed very excited about doing it. Good hat tip to Chesky. He's got a nice place out there. I mean, you should try to rent it. Maybe we'll take one of these from inside his house, Brad.
I'm checking in on the comments on our YouTube stream just to see if anybody else has stayed at that house of Brian Chesky's out there on the West Coast. But
I got the money. I'm ready.
Yeah, look, it's in the bag. There we go. And on that note, when you talk about the number of employees, they're 5% fewer people than in 2019, and they're generating revenue at 25% higher than 2019 levels there. So that a critical stat that they did call out within this earnings call as well. I've got the Wi-Fi Interactive pulled up here. I do want to get to that because this after hours move, we shouldn't delay exactly what's taking place there. It's up nearly 10% after hours. At one point, it was higher than 10%, teetering at around 11% in the tick by tick. But continuing to watch shares of Airbnb here on the Wi-Fi Interactive. And just while we have that up, I do want to click on over to some of the after hours move that's taking place more broadly in that travel space, because you're seeing that more largely there is this move higher here, Booking.com even higher by about 1.2%. So it's interesting to see where investors may also be taking tidbits away from the Airbnb call and layering that on to some other parts of the travel equation out there.
Two quick ads for me. Top ticker page right now on Yahoo Finance in the evening. What does that mean? Everybody's going to Airbnb on yahoofinance.com, going to the ticker page and seeing what they put up. And I think why you're seeing the stock move like this, Brad, really two things: $10 billion in cash, hinting at more buybacks. Also noted, booking trends in the first quarter remained strong. That is what we heard from Expedia CEO Peter Kern on our show yesterday morning. The street loves hearing all this. I would expect estimates to go up tomorrow morning from Wall Street.
Absolutely. Okay. So we got to get to our vibe checks here, because I got to know exactly what you would rank this call. We got to give every call a grade. And I had a hard time doing a number on this one. I want to know what you came up with and summoned over there.
I'm giving it a 10, 10, 10 all day.
Wow.
Good, awesome, stupendous, marvelous. That is just how I'm feeling about the earnings call from Brian Chesky. I think he nailed it. I liked he just fed red meat to the bulls out there, saying, you know what, we're not hiring willy-nilly. We're going to keep expenses tight. We're going to buy back stock. We might buy another company. Profits are strong. Revenue's up. Bookings are good. Boom, boom, boom. Love the quarter. Love the call.
Look, there's no flies on this one at all. I think we both can agree that this was a good call. And in fact, many instances, it was a great call. They did exactly what they needed to do. They talked about the growth catalysts. You heard the CFO talk about them being in growth mode and how important that is for investors to continue to hear. And the 2023 priorities, they're going to make hosting mainstream. They're looking to perfect the core service and upgrades to some of the customer service there as well, and then expanding beyond some of those core services. So giving them a little bit to chew on, or at least go to bed and sleep on, if you will, about what the future could hold for Airbnb in the future. So that is going to be something to keep a close watch on. But both of us gave this one a very good rating here. And some of the growth catalysts certainly does have legs to it there as well. The demand driving supply. They're trying to make sure, because of the fact that many of the people who have stayed in an Airbnb decide to also one day host in an Airbnb as well. That's huge in terms of the transition that takes place there and creating more of those listings on the platform.
Brad, we got a friend. We got a friend knocking on the Zoom door. That is our very own Ali Canal, who's been covering Airbnb and wants to get in here. Now, Ali, I know you've been checking tweets, monitoring what everybody is saying about this quarter. Here's what's the tweets.
That's right. So as I pulled these three tweets from the Twitterverse, and the main focus here seems to be on the overall customer experience. One user writing, quote, less rentals, more price gouging. And I saw a lot of conversation on Twitter about Airbnb's high added fees. I have a few anecdotal stories on that myself, but this seems to be a big critique from Main Street. However, a second tweet here paints a bit of a brighter picture. David Howard writing, quote, Airbnb seems to have taken over hotels and short-term rentals for many people. And it's interesting to look at Airbnb in relation to competitors like hotels, like other platforms like Vrbo. Competition, obviously a big focus on the earnings call today. If I had a penny every time Chesky said the word value, I'd be very, very rich right now. And then finally, the third tweet calling out the AI boom that we've seen across tech. Airbnb is up over 9% after its earning release. Did they rebrand as AI.BNB? And the funny thing is here, guys, that Airbnb actually did talk about AI and the benefits that AI could bring to the business. Chesky saying that Airbnb could uniquely benefit from AI, especially when it comes to sifting through reviews and certain elements of search. So, Saz, I want to kick it to you. What stood out to you here from these three tweets?
Really, it was just the enthusiasm by the street. You're not by people out there watching this quarter, notably, and going to the Yahoo Finance ticker page, Airbnb ticker page. It is, I think, a very clean quarter, and I think people are acknowledging, in terms of tech land, this might be as good as it gets.
You brought up some comparables in there too, Ali, and it's important to think about the Net Promoter Score with all of these companies, the number of people, customers who are willing to add or detract from a brand's presence out there. Airbnb carries one of the best in the travel industry, the 27. You compare that to Marriott's 25, and then Expedia's 13. So that is something that perhaps some of the customers out there can remember in context here with these earnings.
Yeah, definitely brand recognition there. The fees, though, I do see that as a complaint, especially among my friend group. You have a cleaning fee of nearly $400 that's sometimes on par with how much it costs to rent an Airbnb. And I think when you have bigger groups, it makes sense. If you're smaller, maybe you opt for a hotel. But again, Chesky just focusing in on that value. We are the value player. We are differentiated in this market, and we're going to continue to bring more elements to the table in 2023. So I think that's another reason why shares are reacting so positively right now, just this optimism around what Airbnb could be like in the future.
I like it now. Great stuff there. Great analysis. Great tracking all the combos on Main Street. Look, before we send folks home, we got to wrap this up and give some final thoughts. Number one, for me, Brian, this was a clean quarter for a quarter and a company that gets dinged for its cleaning service fees. I think that pricing transparency is going to be appreciated among many of the customers out there. But this was a clean quarter. It was a clean call, and they communicated to the street exactly what needed to be heard. The stock price is reflecting all of that.
My Valentine's Day, Brad, was made better because I got to listen to this Airbnb call by CEO and co-founder Brian Chesky. I think he hit a home run. I think it was bullish. Estimates are going up, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 2 a.m., go to yahoofinance.com, and Airbnb is the top ticker, most visited ticker page on Yahoo Finance. Why? Because it's for a reason. Quarter was good. Call was good. Hat tip to you, Brian Chesky.
All right. That's all it takes to make a good Valentine's Day for some folks out there, for sure. Us here, we'll be having a good time listening to calls like this, and then we'll figure out what other shenanigans take place for the rest of the day. Yes, hearts indeed. If you hold up on that, well, we'll figure that out. We got to understand how that screen works. Anyway, from Brian Sazi and Brad Smith, as well as Yahoo Finance's Ali Kanat, you've been watching After the Call, everyone, for Airbnb. Solid stock popping after hours trading here. We've got more coverage tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time.